allow those particular circumstances to dictate what we expect God to do. Therefore we view and deal with our present as we did our past. And we end up receiving what we've experienced before, never to grapple anything different. If we are not careful, we can allow where we are to become where we're going to be. If one is not careful, we can live today like we lived yesterday, and our future become the picture of what we're going through now. and because we sometimes fail to live in expectations, we fail to live life based upon what we believe God is going to do. And this leads us sometimes to an attitude of just deal with what you got. Come on. Wow. And truly we all must deal with what we got in order to keep moving. But what would happen? What would happen tonight if we would just learn to live in what we expect God to do? Many of us live outside of our expectations. Many of us go through life really never expecting God to really do anything better than what we already have. Many of us go through life really not heartfully and honestly expecting God to do something that superimposes itself on where we are now. But what would happen? What would happen if you strip yourself from living in yesterday and start living like you're already somewhere? Let me ask that question again. What would happen? What would happen to you tonight? What would happen to you tonight? How would your life pan out if you quit bothering yourself with yesterday and start bothering yourself with the great about to be, the possibilities of what God can do? How would your house look? What would happen in your life if instead of you moping and groaning and being mad over where you are and where you've been, and start living in what you believe God is going to do? What would happen to your life? How would life look if you just start living in what you believe is about to happen? Come on. What would happen if we live in expectations? Because when you think about it, Christianity is living in expectations. For if you look at Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, it says that faith is the substance of things hoped for. What else is Christianity but living in that which is about to come? I wish I had somebody. Preacher. What would happen to you tonight if you dare gaze to the future and gauge your life according to what you see, living in expectations? And Elijah sets a premise of what it means to expect and respond, not to the immediate, that which is, but he sets a premise to what it means to respond to that which is to come. Let me say that again. Elijah sets the premise. When you look at this particular text, Elijah sets the premise. He lays the foundation of what it means to look to the future and respond based upon what you see. Because I wish I had somebody to catch this. Elijah sets the tone. He sets the tenor. He lays the foundation of what it means to expect something and then respond. Not based upon the immediate situation but he begins, but he sets the premise of what it means to actually respond based upon what he believed God is about to do. Because you got to understand, the Bible said that he took off running even before it started raining. I wish I had somebody in here. See what you got to learn how to do. You can't always wait to run. You got to learn how to run, not based upon where you are. You got to learn how to run based upon what you believe God is going to do. There was more Christians who will learn to have a respond, not based upon where you are, but based upon what you believe God is going to do. I wish I had at least 10 folk in here that catch this. We got too many folk, Pastor, who always respond based upon where they are. But what would your praise be? If you start praising God now based upon what you are about to get. Somebody got to learn. See, you got to learn how to praise God even in the midst of the trial. No. You got to catch this because see, Elijah, he sets the tone. He sets the tone. He sets the tenor based upon the potential of something that God is getting ready to do. He sets the tone. He sets the tenor of what it means to believe God for something and then respond to it. Wow. And one of the things we have to learn, don't always concentrate on what is versus that which is beyond what is. Now somebody got to catch that. Too many of us are concentrating on what is. But what faith allows us to do, faith allows us to look beyond what it is and see something that ain't yet, but it's on its way. I wish I had. See, faith helps you. Faith helps you. Faith helps you. Come on, Doc. Faith help you look beyond where you are. Regardless of where you are, still you can see something that God is doing. And let me help you. Don't nobody have to agree with it. Don't nobody have to see it the way you see it. But there ought to be something on the inside of you that says, I don't have it yet, but my God, I see something. Come on, brother. Come on. I wish I had some preaching time in here. Listen, don't. The problem is that too many of us are falling out over what has gone on, what used to be, and what ain't. But you need to learn how to respond based upon what God said is going to happen. I wish I had somebody in here. Too many of us are holding on to stuff that never worked. You got to learn to let go of some stuff and center your mind not on what used to be, what has happened, but you got to learn to center your mind and your concentration and your heart and your faith based upon what God said. He told Elijah sets the premise for this. And in verse 46, his response is not based upon what is, but he reacts to that which is on the way. Because if you look at verse 46, he outran Ahab. I wish I had somebody in here. He already called the boy. Go tell Ahab to hitch up your chariots because it's about to rain. And then in verse 46, when he looked and he saw what God was about to do, Ahab said, you know what, I can't wait for you. I can't wait for you to get to Jezreel. I got to go ahead and run for myself. Sometimes you just got to, when you see it coming, when your rain is coming, don't wait for anybody else to run. Run ahead. You got to learn how to run for yourself. You got to shout that thing out by yourself. You may be the only larger person in here tonight, but if you see something coming, you ought to open up your, don't you wait for somebody behind you to start shouting. You got to learn how to run that thing. Somebody in it. You got to learn how to run that thing by yourself. And sometimes you find out that you run. See, sometimes you got to learn by yourself sometimes. Don't wait for no